people, this is your boy Dumi,
and your voice Boo.
and we are here, the final interview or the final installment of Young and in the Relationship. Yeah. So yeah, follow us and let's
go.
take this.
Don't look like it.
Hi guys.
Welcome everybody to yet another episode of Preach Like It Is, and today we have our beautiful guest, Apostle G.Klein and Aunt Silla. How are you guys doing today?
We're fine with you.
Thank you. So for the past weeks we've been doing a series called Young and in a Relationship. So assuming that you did watch it, briefly just tell us what were your thoughts about the whole series.
Okay, I can start. I like the idea because for me it's provoking conversation amongst youngsters, and hopefully the parents also watched it and it provoked some questions and it steered their mind in a different thought pattern of what the children are going through. Yes, so I like it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I agree. I think she said no what I wanted to say, but I think it's a good thing because it will bring questions to the surface which young people might ask in their privacy, but they don't really ask it, or they don't have someone to speak about it. And now there's opportunity, there's a platform to speak about it. Yeah, so I think.
Perfect. Because that was actually our purpose for doing this thing. So as long as you got the idea, then it means we succeeded in doing something right.
Okay. So Apostle, this one goes for you,
Okay.
right? So
Okay.
before you're the church's apostle, you play other roles: a father, a mentor, a husband, all those roles. Now, considering the father role in specific, how do you feel about your children dating?
Well, it's a difficult question to ask a father, especially to his daughters. But it's part of life. I also had to go take someone's daughter, so I cannot expect my daughters to be with me until I'm old, or they're not going to date. They're also human beings. They also need a partner, life partner. We're not going to be there. So yeah, I think as long as they make the right choices, and I think we've created the environment and set the proper platforms for them so that they can know what are the right choices. We don't choose necessarily. I don't choose necessarily for them, but I will warn them if I see danger signs. But yeah. And also the warning is just a warning. It's not don't. It's just a warning.
Okay.
I would answer your question.
Yeah, no, it still does answer the question. I'm still on you, Apostle. So as a father, of course, you have morals and rules you've set in place. So if your children are to go against your rules, what is your reaction towards that?
Look, I was young and I went against my parents' rules and regulations, and not because I was defiant, but because I was young, because I was ignorant, and I know they also gonna go, and it's for me to sit down with them and explain to them the consequences of doing the wrong thing, so that they can still make the right decision. And if they do make a wrong decision and there are consequences, then I will be there to walk with them, to help them through it. So I'm not going to say, okay, yeah, I told you so, and just leave them there, yeah.
Just to digress a bit, I've come to realize a lot of pastors have a way of speaking and how they answer questions. Is there a school where you attend and learn how to answer certain questions? Because I'm very loose. You ask me a question, I go blah 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 blah. But with a lot of pastors I know, like speaking to Juliana, they just is there a school where you go to, like where you learn how to speak?
I think the headmaster and the teacher and the professor of that school is the Holy Spirit.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, so this question goes to the both of you. So yeah, this day and age, topics are becoming slightly easier to talk about. I remember even speaking to my parents and my grandparents. They used to say, "Yo, in our age, if you come to us and be like, yo, mama, me funu chola," they wouldn't even want to have that conversation. So now, this time that we're living in now, these topics are becoming a lot easier to want to talk about. So, how do you feel about the change? Do you think like, okay, it is the right thing to engage in, or do you feel no? Go back to the old days where it's like, hey, let's not talk about it. Let's not talk about it. How do you feel about these changes now?
Is it a question for me?
Both of you.
Oh,
Anyone can go first.
maybe you must go.
Okay, I'll go first. I actually think I like the time and age we're in now, because I mean back in the days it was not favorable to speak to your parents about, say for example, sex, or I have a boyfriend. But now it's more acceptable. But in our case, or in my case, I can speak easily about those things where my children feel a bit awkward about it. But it's still some topics that you need to elaborate on. Obviously, the detail, there's limit to the detail. But I mean, they get a crux of it. There's danger in it. When to do what and when not to do things. So for me, I love the openness of this new time that we're in.
Yeah, I think like Antisela said that in our times, like you also said, it wasn't like you can speak to your parents about I've got a girlfriend, and we end up doing that in secret, and that's where a lot of mistakes happen. So I think now, because the younger generation can speak openly, I think communication will avoid a lot of secrecy and a lot of mistakes that can happen between, because now now I will ask my children, invite your boyfriend, let me see him, let me speak to him, if you actually go back to the Bible times, in the Bible times, if you as a man want to get married or want to court a young lady, you have to visit the father first, and not just the girl. So it's I think the fact that we couldn't speak to our parents, that actually caused a lot of problems. Even if the older people like us would pretend that we were saints that time, but we were not. We made a lot of mistakes.
I remember you telling us this story. I remember.
Yeah. So, but yeah, and you've learned a few expensive lessons. You've learned. I've learned a few expensive lessons. Yeah. So I think it's better now to be open and speak about it. Yeah.
So, do you understand? So, now when we speak about dating, in this day and age, children kind of want to know, is there a specific age you're allowed to date? Because you get children in primary school dating, and then you ask yourself, what does this child know about dating, and what do you think how do you as a mother feel about children dating at a young age, say primary school?
Yeah, for me as a mother, what I like about this time and age now is there's so many opportunities for children to explore. And as the Bible is saying in Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1 to 8, that there's a time and place for everything. So I think that to date at a young age is not okay. That's just my opinion, because there's so many decisions that goes along with that kind of decision, and you're going to regret not doing things at the age and time you were in. And that's why you find that, and I'm sure you guys also see it, you have adults that are becoming like youngsters. They don't at their age, because they didn't act it out where they're supposed to. So for me, to answer your question, Dumi, is that I think in your 20s is the right time to date, because
practically have an idea.
You practically have an idea, yes, what you want. You've seen a lot of things, and you can make wiser decisions. What you want in life, and I mean, at a young age, your time is to study, to get good results, to make sure that whoever you're going to take one day, you can look well after that person, or if you're a man, and if you're a woman, you can also help your future husband because of the good results and the education you got. Because it's difficult now, you don't study, and when time comes, you need to have the qualifications. Now you're already in a family, you're neglecting your family to acquire that education. So while you could have done that before you had a family. So at a young age to date is not on for me.
Okay. So this next question.
I mustn't answer that question.
No.
Because I've got to answer.
It's fine. You can go right ahead.
Okay. Now I'm just sitting and thinking here. You know, the Bible, the Greek meaning of the word love actually divided in 3 parts, and I'm just going to take 2 parts. There's a friendship love, and there's a relationship, which is a sexual love, which the Bible is speaking about. And I think for a young person to be involved in that kind of love, there is emotional binding to that. And I really think a person, and I'm going to throw out a age now, I think anyone who's younger than 15 years, I don't think they emotionally matured to handle those kind of emotions that's coming with that relationship. So that's why I would think rather the person needs to really wait until they're older. I know that my son told me that he's going to have a girlfriend when he's 16 years old. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what did I almost yeah. So, but I don't think a person that was younger than 50 years or 15 years old have the emotional capacity to handle those kind of relationships.
Okay, so now this question is for the both of you.
Okay.
It's wrong to say, please tune off the Holy Spirit, like please. Because Apostle, you're answering based all these questions, like all of them. You've already touched on them because this is the one I have to skip, like he's already answered the question. You almost touched on this next question that I'm going to ask, which is, what is your definition of love? And this is for the both of you. Because now you almost touched on when you were talking about the love in the Bible, how the Bible defines love. Love, friendship. I'm like, hey, Apostle, now where are you going? Come back.
Let me go. I think love. The one pastor once said, love is not a feeling, it's a decision. But I disagree with it. I think love is at first the feeling, it's at first that excitement, but then after a while the feeling is still there, but it needs to be sustained by the decision. So I need to make because my wife is not so nice every day like she is now here. There are some days when she's not nice, and I have to make a decision that I still love her. Then that when she makes me angry, that feeling is gone.
Yeah.
But then I still have to make. So that's love to me. I still have to make the decision. I love her because she's my wife, and because of other qualities, not because she's making me angry this morning, but she's got other qualities as well, and for that I love her, and I had to make that for myself. I have to make that decision over and over the time, over the years. It becomes easier. But if you newly married, or if you just married, then it's really a decision that you have to make. That's why marriages fail within the first 2 years because of their decision. And I think people really can't make their decision at that time, and then the feeling is no more there, and then they just walked out or just decide a marriage is no more worth it.
Yeah. Covered it. Do you want to answer the question,
No, I agree that it is a decision. It's it's not easy, although I mean people would like to hear that answer and say, oh, it's easy to love your husband, it's easy to love your partner, for those that are not married, but it is really a conscious decision that you need to make, because you are two opposites. I mean, myself and Pastor, we total opposites. Yes, we total opposites. But as he said, in the beginning,
But I'm the better opposite.
it's difficult. Yes, he have to keep me intact, so it's good. Yes, yeah. So he have to keep me intact. He's the better opposite.
That was a joke.
No, but it's right. You need people like them in our lives. The introverts and the extroverts. So we once said that you need to deposit as much love as you can in a bank account, in a love bank account, because there will come days where I will do withdrawals.
You have to make withdrawals.
You have to make withdrawals from there, but there has to be a sufficient balance of love in the bank account for that bank account to be active, to still be active. But if you keep on withdrawing, you're going to go into a negative love account, and that's problematic.
And then it will say insufficient
funds.
And that's the time when the wife says, I have it now.
Wise words.
Yeah, because...
Go to your mother.
I really hope people are listening. Okay, this next question is still for the both of you. We've seen on TV, heard on radio, wherever, people talking about the one. I don't know if it's an actual thing. Maybe if you know, you can say, oh no, there is such a thing when you find you one. But this question is, how did you know, maybe for you, that Apostle was the one? And Apostle, how did you know that Ancilla was the one?
Oh,
if there is such a thing as the one.
There is, you never for sure when you're young. I know, I can remember when we decided we're going to get married, remember? I called my mother and I said, I don't want to get married. Then my mother, instead of saying, no my child, it's okay. I'm okay with your decision. She asked me, no, what about Jairus? I said, but mother, I'm your child. But so you're never sure, because you always have that, you'll have a doubt. But in my case, I was, after a while, I was more sure than unsure in my decisions, in everything that I based on. Because you're always on two sides, whether you must do it or not. But if there's more, if I'm more for it than not for it, I will go for the more for it. But if I'm more not for it and less for it, I'll go with a not for it. So, but I was sure, because I mean, my heart used to skip a beat. Not that it doesn't do it, but I mean, when you're youngsters, you know, you guys are in the relationships. Yeah, I knew that I wanted to stay with him, and for him to become the father of my children and to grow old. And I actually can't wait for all the children to be out of the house, so we can have the me time that we deserve, because I mean, I'm tired now of all the children in the house.
Yeah, look, in my case, I think because I'm 4 or 5 years older than Auntie Sala, so I think I was already 25 when we met, and I think we got married.
No, when we married.
When we married, so I think I was 23 when we...
Don't give dates and things over.
I think I was 23, but we got married when I was 25, yeah. So I was older than what she was at that time. But I knew I want to make this girl my wife from word go, because she had the most beautiful legs.
In what did you say? I want a beautiful wife with long hair.
You know, when I prayed to God. I want someone that I can, at least when I'm, that time there weren't malls, but if I'm in the street, then I've got a beautiful person next to me. And God bless me with not just only beauty, but she's intelligent and she's sensitive and she's caring mother, you know. God bless me with other things which I didn't even really, because I looked at the physical, at the external, but God bless me with other things as well. Yeah.
Okay, now back to the children's story. So if you've set rules and you've told them, and now it happens that sudden change comes, unexpected things where they didn't find themselves, they didn't even anticipate to be in a certain situation, and now they come home, there's a pregnancy, or they experimented and now they're addicted to a drug and whatnot, or maybe you find out about the drug at a later stage. How do you respond to your child? How do you make your child feel comfortable to know that mommy and daddy is a safe space rather than,
So we had it kind of discussions beforehand. We told them, these are the reasons why we tell you not to do something. Because if you don't listen, these are the things that can happen. But if those things are happening, we're still there, we will still love you. And we said, even if you come, and I think it was about pregnancy, even if you come pregnant, we will still accept you. But it's more beneficial for you not to engage in such acts now. Because you're gonna dismantle your whole plans, and you're gonna take longer to reach certain things. So we told them, even with schoolwork also, we say to them, give it your best, because when you give it your best, you will get best results. And if your best result is 50%, I'm fine, as long as you gave your best. But if you don't give your best, and your result is 60%, then it's not fine, because that's not your best. So you need to work or strive to get to your potential. And you're the one that's in charge of your life, not us. Because in a few years' time, you're going to be an adult, you're going to be a mother, a father, and husband and a wife. So make wise decisions before you get to there. But I think any parent, or most parents, let's say, because we know these things are happening when children are doing wrong things and parents chasing them out of the house, or some disown them. But most parents will still love the children. I mean, if we get a grandchild now, we're gonna be so over the moon and what. But for the time being, you're going to be disappointed. They must know that you're gonna be disappointed.
I think she said everything.
Oh, sorry.
You said everything.
Surprise. Now, last question. I'm actually sad now,
Second
but
last.
is it?
Yeah, I still have a question.
Yeah. I thought it was the last one. My heart was like, no, God. This has to go on. So, when do you think, okay, now we asked when do you think is the right time to start dating and doing all that. Is there a right age to get married? Or when do you think is the right time to even think about getting married? And this is for the both of you.
Must I answer first? The right time to get married. And again, it's my perception, because I married young, and I lost the time where I have that freedom to make own decisions on certain things. Not that it was bad to be married and make their decisions, but I mean, it's still, Pastor can say, it's still shaping you. When you're young, you get out of varsity or out of school in a job, you earn your own salary, you make your decisions, you fail, you excel in certain things. But when you're young and you get married, then there's other responsibilities that's coming your way. So instead of concentrating, working on a car for you, the car that you want now, you have to concentrate on a car that's fit for a family. You know, things like that. So I think the right age, and I mean, is 25, because I mean, Pastor, he was very matured in our relationship at that age, and it helped a bit. But you do find some youngsters that are same age, that's young, that gets married, and then they all making a lot of mistakes. Yes, yeah. So I think 25 is a good age.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm just thinking now the age will also come to maybe 25, 26 because, but I think the main thing is you must be stable for you to get married. You know, if you get married, what you must remember is that there are two worlds that's coming together. It's your world and then it's your spouse's world that's coming together. And then you guys still need to work that out. Because like if I speak to people who's going to get married, I normally tell them, they say, don't say I'm not marrying your family, because that comes with a package. You cannot say, to me. You cannot say I'm not marrying Bongis. They're gonna come with it. I mean, my mother-in-law is here now. I cannot say I didn't marry my mother-in-law. It comes with it. It comes with a package. So you must be matured. So you must, when you get married, you must know who you are. You must know yourself before you get married. Because if you don't know yourself, then you will have trouble, making the right decisions when you are married. Yeah, I think.
Makes perfect sense.
Okay, now to close it off. Okay, you've answered most of the questions, so I don't even think this part is going to be very long. So, if we have to give direct advice to children outside, because you've spoken mainly to us and spoken about your children. If you have to give them advice on how to carry themselves in the future, what would you say to them?
I think for boys and girls, make sure that you know what you want out of life. Your current circumstances and current situation should not necessarily define where you want to be. Your aspirations for now don't have to be at a low level. Even say if your family are currently at a low level, that doesn't mean that you can't have high aspirations. So have the aspirations that you want to have in the future. If you are longing for fatherly and a motherly home and you don't have it, aspire to have that, but you're going to have to work towards it. So you can't expect to have that if you start off with having children at a young age, and then in a few years' time you leave that boyfriend or the boyfriend leave the girlfriend, then you're going to marry someone else. So it's that in itself is problematic. So grab all the opportunities you can, make sure that you're matured enough to make the decisions, and do life and do youngster things, but acceptable youngster things. You can still enjoy yourself. I think most of the youngsters at this time, they know that they can still enjoy themselves without doing drugs and alcohol and occupy. There's still other things that you can explore, go out to places, still portray that you're a child of Jesus Christ, that you're busy enhancing the kingdom of Jesus Christ by conducting yourself in an acceptable manner. So grab all the opportunities you can.
I've got two concepts, and I think you will hear me speaking about this thing, and maybe one day when I'm no more, then you will say, Pastor Klein always used to say this, because I'm going to keep on saying this. The first thing that I'm going to say is, which just dawned on me now, is that love the age that you are in. If you're a teenager, live in that teenage age. Don't try to live an adult life. When you're 20, in the 20s, live a 20-year-old age. Go through those phases. So that by the time when you get to, when you're an adult, then you have gone through those phases. All those phases, God didn't just create that for nothing. It's so that we can prepare for tomorrow. Our today is preparation for tomorrow. So if you don't love, if you want to love tomorrow in today, then you'll miss out today. That's the one thing there. So love, that's why even in the church, be a young person. You know, put your caps the wrong way around. Because that's your age.
Yeah.
I'm going to be silly if I put my caps now wrong way around, because then I want to live in the past. You hear what I'm saying? So love the age until you get to the, you know, to maturity. The second thing that I wanted to say is that I believe, and hear my choice of words, I'm not saying the Bible says so, but I think the concept of the Bible also agrees with what I'm saying. I believe that our purpose was created by God first, before we were created. That's what I believe. I believe every person that's on earth here was born with a purpose. And as you grow into that purpose. But you need to find out what is your purpose. And start to move in that direction of your purpose. There's so many young people, and that's why people are using drugs and are basically controlled by substances, because they don't know what is their purpose. They are walking next to their purposes because they don't know where. So I believe that find out as a young person, find out what is your purpose and go in that direction.
What a mouthful. Yo, so thank you so much. I think we've reached the end of our episode. Actually, now we're closing off officially the whole series on being young and in a relationship. Thank you so much, Apostle G.Klein. I'm so used to calling Papa Klein. I'm like, but I'm not saying it's going to be better. And Priscilla Klein, thank you so much for welcoming us here. It was, I mean, my heart is so, and I was like, ish. Like we need more. We need more. We need more. So thank you so much, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to go to our social media pages at preach_like_it_is. YouTube, Twitter, hit us up. If you have any questions, feel free to post them. We will answer them. If you need to see them again, you can just, I'm sure they'll be more than willing to do it again. So thank you so much for watching. That's a wrap.
Out.
Sharp.
Beautiful people, this is your boy Dumi. Yeah, this was our final installment of Young in a Relationship. You know, the apostle and his wife, they just sealed it for us and they gave us direction and advice. I hope you guys loved it and you took heed to the words that were spoken. If you want to see them again, you know, just holler at us and we'll let you know. Feel free to write a comment, share, like, and don't forget to subscribe, you know, and hit the bell icon just so you can get notification when we release new videos. Just so you know, after this video we played a few games with them, so in the upcoming weeks we'll be releasing those videos of us playing games with them. Sharp and away. Love you much, guys.